Silence is not emptiness. It is not weakness. It is a storm, invisible yet unshakable. When you choose silence against a narcissist, you are not avoiding the fight, you are ending it. For narcissists survive on your reaction. Every sigh, every tear, every argument is the fuel that feeds their illusion of power. But when that fuel is gone, their empire of control begins to collapse. This collapse does not happen all at once. It comes in stages, like a mask cracking piece by piece. And in these stages, you will see the truth of who they are and the truth of your own strength. At first, your silence disorients them. Narcissists live in a world where they pull the strings and others dance. But suddenly, their strings fall slack. You do not argue. You do not explain. You do not defend. They test you with small provocations, sarcastic remarks, subtle jabs, even sweet words coated in poison. They expect the usual reaction, but when nothing comes, their mind races. Confusion spreads like cracks in glass. Why aren't you fighting? Why aren't you feeding me? Silence is the one thing they cannot interpret. Words they can twist, tears they can mock, anger they can use against you. But silence is a mirror. And in that mirror, they see nothing but themselves. This is where the collapse begins, not in fire, but in confusion. When confusion doesn't work, anger erupts. The narcissist rages because silence feels like death to them. They scream, accuse, insult. They call you cold, heartless, ungrateful. They push every button, trying to spark the fire they crave. But your silence remains a wall. Their anger, once terrifying, now reveals itself as desperation. They throw words like knives, hoping to pierce you. But knives cannot cut stone, and silence, when chosen with strength, is stone. The angrier they become, the weaker they look. Their fury exposes their fear that without your reaction, they are nothing. Rage burns hot, but it burns out fast, and when it does, despair takes its place. Here, the narcissist changes costume. No longer the furious tyrant, they become the weeping victim. They beg, they plead, they promise change. They tell you they cannot live without you, that you are cruel for abandoning them. Tears flow, apologies fall, words of love spill, but you have heard them before. You know they are tools, not truths. Your silence cuts deeper than anger ever could, because it shows them their tricks no longer work. The stage is empty, and the audience has left. In their despair, they are not mourning the loss of love. They are mourning the loss of control. When even pity cannot move you, the mask begins to crumble. For the first time, the narcissist feels what they always run from: emptiness. Without control, without attention, without your energy, they are left with themselves. And themselves is the one place they cannot bear to be. They collapse inward. The lies, the image, the superiority, all of it shakes. Your silence forces them into their own shadow, into the truth they never wanted to face, that their power was never real. This is the moment silence reveals its true strength, not as punishment, but as truth. But narcissists rarely surrender quietly. In a last attempt, they fight to protect their image. If they cannot control you directly, they will try to control how others see you. Smear campaigns begin: rumors, lies, twisted stories. They become the martyr, painting you as the villain. This rebellion is noise, nothing more. It is their desperate scream to the world: I still matter, I still have power. But deep inside, they know the truth. Smears are echoes, not weapons. They may shake others, but they cannot shake you, not when silence has already broken their hold. By now, your silence has transformed. At first, it was a shield. Now, it is a sword. Not a sword that strikes, but one that cuts illusions. You no longer engage in their games. You no longer live in their script. Your silence says, you do not own me. You do not define me. Carl Jung once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Your silence forces the narcissist into their unconscious. It reveals the shadow they always denied. It shows them they cannot bend reality forever. And for you, silence is healing. It is the end of chaos, the end of control, the return of your power. Victory does not come with shouts or battles. It comes quietly, in the peace of silence. You did not win by fighting harder. You won by refusing to fight at all. By stepping out of the game, you ended it. The narcissist collapses not because you destroyed them, but because you stopped sustaining them. Their downfall is their own making. Your victory is reclaiming yourself. And in this victory lies the greatest truth. Real strength is not found in noise, but in peace. Not in reaction, but in silence. Silence is not weakness, it is clarity, it is freedom. In silence you rise, in silence you heal, and in silence you win.